As the years passed by, Humpy grew larger and became wiser in many ways. He now stood 7 feet tall at the shoulder and weighed as much as a mouse. His shovel-like antlers weighed as much as a horse. His shovel-like antlers spread to 6 feet between the outer points. Now, as he stood in the pond, his dark brown coat shone in the sun. He heard the loons calling from the water and saw the ducks swimming nearby. Beavers worked at cutting down trees and building up their homes. Life was good to him, especially in the summer and fall. With the coming of late fall and early winter, Humpy found that he needed to be more careful again. In the summer there were few men in his part of the world, but in autumn they came to hunt. And he must keep out of reach of their guns. Because of what he had seen and heard that moonlight night in the riverbank, he was very watchful. One day his sharp ears heard the faint sound of footsteps breaking the snow behind him. A hunter? He could not be sure until he had seen and smelled him. Walking fast around a small hill, he hid behind a bush where he could see his own tracks in the hollow below. From his hiding place, Humpy saw and smelled a man with a gun. He was following the tracks, looking closely at them. And then up to see where they were leading. When the hunter was out of sight, Humpy quietly rose and slipped away in the opposite direction. As soon as he was out of hearing, he ran for the deeper woods. The hunter, following the tracks, wondered why they should go in a circle. When he saw what the moose had done, he knew that he was tracking a smart animal. He knew, too, that this moose was now far away, and he'd better look for another. After that scare, Humpy ran for a long time without stopping. Miles away in deep forests of the endless hills, he slowed down. Here he remained until the hunting season was over. By then it was midwinter, and the hunters were all gone. With the hunters away, his main worry was the wolves. They had not been able to catch many deer or rabbits in the soft snow, but they had fed on the bodies of moose and deer left by hunters. Now the pair of timber wolves, with their 3 grown cubs, were hunting far and wide for food. That winter, the snow fell day after day and lay deep on the ground. Even Humpy, with his long legs, had trouble wading through. Then, one day, the sun shone warmly, melting the top of the snow until it was heavy with water. At night, it grew cold again and froze hard, but not quite hard enough for Humpy. His sharp hoofs would break through, and then his knees would have to break the crust again coming up. In the woods, where the sun had not melted the snow, it was still soft, but in the open, the crust was hard, and the moose often found it easier to jump than walk. Humpy was crossing the frozen lake through the crusted snow one day in search of food. He was having a hard time breaking through the snow and was getting tired. Halfway across, he stopped to rest. Suddenly, he thought he heard something behind him. While breaking the snow, he had been making too much noise himself to hear it. But now, as he turned his large antlered head and trumpet ears in that direction, he clearly heard something that gave him quite a scare. Usually he would not have been so upset by it, but now that the snow was making it hard for him to travel, he was in trouble and not sure what to do.